My family branded me as a failure, and then I invented the invisibility cloak. If only they could see me now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Azereth Prevails. Today we've got the top defensive teams in the 5v5 upcoming 5v5 season. We have a video that's coming out at the exact same time talking about the best 5v5 offense teams as well and how to employ them to your best advantage. So find that linked in the video description, or wait till the end of this video and then just click on that one. So it'll be great. It'll be linked at the end. It's full of amazing insights. You'll see. You'll see. You might not see if you're blind. So, huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It means the world to me and my family. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Please mount the algorithm. Please. Be so kind. I mean, do the algorithm a favor, man. Just throw it a mounting. But whatever, guys. Let's get to it. So, Datacrons, of course, are going to play a huge part in this season, as they do every season now. Datacrons are a huge part of the GAC meta, and so. The things we've got to really look out for are the focused Datacrons and the, individual ones as well. The last season, the most recent season of 5v5, we had all the smuggler and mercenary ones, and those are going to be very relevant this season as well. With there's going to be a Hutt cartel one. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So, these are all teams that I placed on, that I'm putting on defense for the most part. Obviously, they may change a little bit, but the number one, and I go back and forth on this so much. Number one team that I'm putting on defense, though, guys, is this Rey team with Sana. Now, Sana is kind of weird. She doesn't have any other scoundrels or smugglers to hang out with. So the question is, why is she there? It's because her Datacron does a lot of cool stuff for her team. I mean, essentially what it does is give plus 100% health, and the awesome thing that does is then gives Ezra enough protection and survivability to survive being one shot by Drogon on the Leia team. So typically what's going to happen is people are going to use they're going to use Leia to attack this team, and Drogon's going to try to one-shot Ezra with his basic on his first try. And if that works, then Leia typically just wins. There's just not really any recovering from that. But if he lives, and this is where you want all that extra health, if Ezra lives, then you just kind of destroy that Leia team. So making Ezra extra healthy, something you probably want to do. This is why people are putting Relic 9 on Ezra, because in TW and in GAC, they don't want Drogon to one-shot him. So this team actually holds, again, really well against a ton of teams out there. Just make sure your Ezra's modded with a lot of health as well. So next we have, the Jabba team. Gosh, I went through so many mental gymnastics with this, folks. Because of the Aphra, we've got an interesting interaction. So at the Aphra makes it so that she just basically destroys Jabba right away. And so we could keep Jabba for offense, but Aphra also does well on defense, especially if you put Chrysanthemum on the team, and especially in fives, because she has her Omicrons to help defend and protect her against teams like Qui-Gon Jinn, etc. So I'm not saying the Aphra team is undefeatable, but I am saying maybe we throw Chrysanthemum on there, and then we can use the Smuggler Kron with Nest on this Jabba team. I'm not saying this team is also going to destroy things, but I think it's going to beat a lot of teams. Like, I don't think Night Sisters have much play into this, for instance. Like, a lot of the old counters work against this Jabba team for sure. I'm not saying it's just going to be a nuisance. It's going to be obnoxious to try to beat, and because they can't hit anyone. They could hit Boosh, I guess, but even then you have to get past L3's taunting, which, I mean, that's not the biggest thing, but The Jabba team otherwise is just going to be hunted by Aphra, and I think the Aphra team still beats this. Actually, if someone wants to save Aphra for it, that's fine, but this way we're getting use of the Jabba team and still using Chrysanthemum with Aphra, as we'll see in a little bit. So this team, this is what I'm going to place. It's kind of weird. Jabba's uncomfortable with all this light side, touchy-feely nonsense that's going on, but Smugglercron with Nest, man, do it to it. Make it so. So Ahsoka without Ezra, obviously a lot weaker, and we all know that. So the big thing everyone says is, oh, you can just use Bo-Katan on it. However, if you use Wat on the team, it turns that frown upside down against Bo-Katan, at least. Bo-Katan is a very low win rate against Ahsoka teams with Wat, because you only have one tank, and so Wat immediately puts the tank tech on Ahsoka, because she's the only tank, and then she just recovers too much protection, and the Bo-Katan team just can't quite get there. So, yes, it's still going to lose to any Leia team, but it already lost to any Leia team, even with Ezra. The Leia teams had like a 93% win rate last season. It wasn't pretty, and the Leia teams are going to struggle a little bit more against that Rey team. The Leia teams actually don't have a super high win rate against this. I mean, it still wins most of the fights, but it's questionable at this point. The Ahsoka team was just always going to get handled by that Leia team, and so this time we're splitting the Leia team off. People are going to just use Leia to take out this Rey, and then they have to find something else that beats Ahsoka, which, if they want to use Sith Eternal with Bane, that's fine. I mean, they'll beat the heck out of this team with that squad. They could probably use Supreme Leader Kylo to beat it. There's a lot of things that beat it, but at least Wat turns off the easiest level counter. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're going for here, at least. So that's what's going to happen. So Aphra team, it's about what you would expect, and of course you need the Aphra focus Datacron, and then Chrysanthemum works on this team, and it does some obnoxious things. You want the level 15, so she's not targetable, but then if you have one or more of her Omicrons, she's going to be much tougher to kill, and of course she's not targetable, so you could use Qui-Gon Jinn, but I don't think that's going to have a super high win rate, frankly. We'll see, but there may end up being a really cool, obvious way to beat this team, but I have a feeling we're going to take a lot of really strong teams out with this. Like, people are going to just have to use squads that are very precious to them, and they might just die along the way. I think in fives this team is just ridiculous. It's going to be good on offense as well if you want to keep it for offense, but I mean, imagine this is the front zone, guys. You have Rey, this weird Jabba team, Ahsoka with Wat and Aphra. It's just, people are going to be they're going to just skip the round. They don't want to face that nonsense. So, and then on the top zone, you're going to put this Lord Vader team with Apo. If you don't have Apo, then just keep it for offense, frankly. But this is because you have if you have the Apocron, then you can go and delete people with it. It's going to be so fun. You'll see how fun it is. It'll be a blast. Actually, I don't really. I think this team is going to die to a few different things. I think it's potentially Mon Mothma food, frankly, but with the Apocron, we might have something here. We'll have to see. Eventually, Lord Vader will just have his 4 clone buddies, and he'll just be on defense, and we'll all be annoyed by it forever. That'll be fun. Kenobi's in a weird place because he doesn't really counter anything that's super important right now. If you're afraid your opponent is going to put Supreme Leader Kylo down, I suppose he could counter Supreme Leader Kylo sometimes. Putting him on defense, I mean, he can just die to Bo-Katan, he can die to a few different things, but he also just isn't solving that much on offense, and we need good defense teams. Kenobi's fine on defense. You have I mean, not too many teams beat him, just enough good ones beat it that it's challenging. Of course, if you put enough good teams down that need counters by strong teams, then Kenobi gets stronger and stronger, because at some point you're not going to be able to kill him with just any team. You're going to need something good, and at some point, if you put enough good teams down, people are just going to run on the counters. So just this is another like good team. It used to be great. It used to be amazing on defense. Now it's okay, but it's good. It's okay in the sense that people are going to need a lot of counters to a lot of these tough teams that we're placing, because we're placing a lot on defense, honestly, guys. The Bailen team, I might be keeping it for offense just so I can get some footage for my upcoming video on the faction essentials for this team. I don't know if I'm going to actually get any good footage, but using the Kira here is interesting because she's a smuggler, but she does some interesting things for mercenaries, and she has some really cool interactions with Bailen anyways. And then Hondo is really good in GAC, especially if you have the GAC Omicron, and this team will be annoying. There's not a lot of teams that are just going to easily beat Bailen in 5v5. I mean, Inquisition are always so sketchy whenever I try it. That's like my go-to counter to Bailen, and it's always real scary. So looking forward to this team being on defense alongside all these other obnoxious things. And then here's the big shift, folks. Because there's the Rey teams out there are so challenging right now. We could use the Seer Malicos team to beat some of the Rey Ezra nonsense, but it's really tough. It's very challenging, and this team isn't devoid of use on offense at all. It is actually pretty good on offense, but we want to just be as obnoxious as we can on defense. And so placing this team on defense is going to be pretty annoying. You can also, if you have the Apocron on Lord Vader, or with Lord Vader team, you have Maul floating around. You could, instead of having Fulcrum here, you could actually have Maul, and it makes the team even better. So you could do that. So Trench, we have Watt with Ahsoka right now, but we still have a good Count Dooku-cron. So how do we get around that? We could use the pre-taunt from Zalbar and his Omicron here, if we dare, and then we still have the pretty good Dooku Datacron. I mean, this team is going to get killed a lot this season, but I think Zalbar adds a little strange little thing. The Omicron is absolutely imperative. Otherwise, there's no point in placing him, guys. And remember, you can use him. People say like, oh, he's not with his team, he's worthless, his Omicron is useless. That's not the case. Go back and read his data, or his Omicron. It has a few sentences that are usable with any team, and that's the pre-taunt and other things. So it still has use. It's just not as cool and prescriptive as the 5v5 and 3v3 options for him. So Queen Amidala, this is the best version of Queen Amidala with Echo and Shock T. It's going to be on defense a lot because a lot of times this team killed Jabba, but it struggles a little more against Jabba teams when the Jabba team has the really cool Hutt cartel Datacron. And so the team could be on defense, and it's going to force someone to use, I mean, people want to use Bane, people want to use Traya, people want to, I mean, Bad Batch eventually will probably beat this team pretty consistently, but a lot of people don't have Bad Batch yet, so this team is still good on defense for now. People want to use the Great Mother's team against this particular build. It's only like a 70% win rate or less right now, so this team still does some cool stuff on defense. So the Grievous team, I think this is the best version that I saw on defense with a Datacron, and this is the old Datacron, guys, not the new one. I know General Grievous has his own Datacron. You're looking for the one that's going to dust after this season, the one that gives damage immunity. You put this in the back or on the top. There's not really a great answer to this if people are already having to be being dragged through the rest of this defense. People might one-shot it for, you know, at different points, but it is going to be fairly obnoxious. This Finzori team, I mean, we need something else on defense that people can't just ignore. Of course, people are going to just use Jedi or whatever. I mean, this team is good on offense too, but we forget to use it a lot anyway. So throw it on defense, make Resistance Hero Finn obnoxiously fast, and then You know, they'll be okay, I guess. And then so Saw on defense, if you don't want to use them on Mothma team using Saw with Luthen, you don't have to use Bodhi. Of course, you can use him with his Datacron, or you can use Saw with his Datacron. I do like this Saw's is responsive in the sense that whenever you kill Worthless Guy, which is with Luthen summons, of course, then immediately Saw gets his turn and he shoots his big shot and is able to hurt everyone, and he can be, it's going to be a good team on defense unless Scion of Django just destroys it. So that's a big question mark, but for now you want that team on defense. The Qui-Gon team is an alternative team. I kind of want to keep it for offense, honestly, just so that I have some option against Aphra. It might not actually work that well, but it might. It also might. So that, and then we could, this isn't a good, I just threw this down just for fun, guys. If you really want to use Jocasta Nu, this team is 100% Jedi Vanguard, so if you get enough turns, Jocasta could take out her lightsaber gun and shoot your opponents right in the face. Or she might not. She might just die, and we don't even know what her death rattle sounds like because we all have the volume turned off. So that'll be great. And, I mean, remember, if you watch the offensive teams video, there are a lot of teams that I mentioned that you could throw on defense that, I'm just not necessarily going to. It's a really tricky season because it's going to be a bunch. It's going to be an overload of like pretty strong teams. And then at some point, we'll just hit the line of like, oh, and then you don't really need anything too crazy to get through the last of them. So you can put a variety of just kind of filler stuff. And I hate to say that. I don't want to do that to people. That's such a cop-out almost. But I mean, that's kind of what it is. There's a bunch of strong teams on defense, and then there's a lot of teams that you kind of need for offense, and then that, we're all gonna have a few teams that it's like, well, please get one hold this whole season between like the three of you teams. That's how it was in 5v5. It felt like, or 3v3. I think that's how it's gonna be a little bit in 5v5 as well. So, anyways, I think this is the best. These are the best comps, but that's only my opinion. And even though I am the sole arbiter of truth, I would love to hear what your thoughts are. So, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Watch the offensive teams video, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, folks.